When Clint Jones had that lecture a couple weeks ago on, he called it New White Supremacy and Old Environmental Racism. He was talking at the campus to mostly environmental students, but pointing out how the movement doesn't often address the fact that you know, communities of color are the most sacrificed to our consumptive way of life, right? And that when the university doesn't address racism explicitly, they're kind of like, he calls that new white supremacy, because it's like pushed back under the table. And then everyone goes on as if, like, wasn't he saying, you know, just as if business as usual can make the change happen or something. It was interesting the way he pitched that.
It's basically covert racism.
Covert, yeah, that's covert racism.
Yeah, where you maintain the status quo because it's hidden in a way, so it's like you're not using racial slurs or anything like that, so it allows people to say, oh, well, I'm not a racist, but if you're participating in a system that disproportionately negatively impacts people of color and values and protects white people, then simply by participating and not speaking out, not challenging that system, you are participating in a kind of covert racism or systemic racism. So.
You know, and our group for, hey Michelle, good seeing you. Our Green Party group had probably per capita in this country, I think we had more people from Point went out to Standing Rock protest against the pipeline per capita than probably any other city. I counted like 15 or 20. We had a gigantic rally at Sundial.
Sometimes it's kind of hard. I mean, I have a class of her, but I'm trying
and
to.
And if you know did you know much about that pipeline fight?
Yeah, I can definitely see in her. And we practiced.
Where they were spraying down Indian people with hoses.
Oh, I remember because I went. Yeah, so I went to it. It was pretty scary.
You went out there?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Had one more.
So we drove. So we drove there, and like they blocked us from going to the main camp.
Really?
Yeah, and they're like, you have to turn around.
What was the date when you were there?
I don't remember. I think it was like November around there.
2016.
Yeah, it's been really long. So, yeah, but.
I was there on the 2nd, December 2nd to the 5th when we got hit by the big blizzard. That's when the military was on.
Oh,
Yeah, that was right after.
Yeah, so right after. Yeah.
So one thing the girls did really good with the Splash Walkout was that it wasn't just about Parkland, and just watching them plan the walkout and talk about how issues are interconnected. And they talked about what was actually, you know, like Parkland's in Florida, what was actually happening in Wisconsin. So they talked about the prom shootings that were happening, you know, a lot of the other things and tying that together. And so I think for you guys can talk more about how you guys decided to do the walkout, not just based on gun control, but about safety in school, and like that there was more to safety in school than just gun control. And yeah, I don't know if you all want to talk about that, but I think that was what was really unique, and a lot of folks around the country have been asking me to share how you all organized and see things being interconnected.
Okay, so the reason why we did school safety instead of gun control is because it's much more than a gun control. It's like, you know, within like the Parkland case, you know, they're like he had mental health problems and stuff. But how are we providing these services to students, especially students of color, right? How are we providing them safe space for them to talk about their depression and to really for them to understand the underlying problems other than what's really just in the front pages. Is that it's a gun problem? Yes, it's a gun problem, but what is the underlying issue causing this to even go this far?
And I would agree. I think violence in general is a symptom of the problem.
Yeah.
And because we're failing to address the problems, people are so focused on addressing the symptoms, but you're not correcting the problem. You're just continually battling symptoms. You know, and the same things happened when I was in high school. We talk about it frequently when we see all the school violence going on now. There was bullying, there was, you know, rude comments, there were fights, but typically we, you know, kids back then, we all carried a pocket knife, things like that, but it wasn't for violence, it was to open letters or to sharpen your pencil or things like that. We got in fights, and some of them were pretty serious, you know, aggressive fights. Nobody ever thought about pulling a knife out, even though we had one. It was, you know, you smack each other around, and then you got over it. Those problems still exist, but the symptoms now have escalated into more violent ways. Now, you know, you punch me, I pull a knife. You pull a knife, I pull a club. You pull a club, I pull a gun. And that's what happens, and we're still not addressing the same problems that existed that I had when I was in high school, and I'm sure most of the other people in this room saw happening, is the bullying and the depression. A family life plays a big role in that every single person you meet in high school has a story that you probably have no idea what's going on at home. And some of that is learned environmental violence. If the kids go home and they see dad smacking around mom, they think that's okay. Or even, you know, male, male, female, female, the arguing, the swearing, the throwing stuff. If they have a bad home life, there's no way to address that problem in school or anywhere. So I think that what you're doing is, you know, attempting to get to the root of the problem, and then the symptoms will naturally go away.
And another thing that we are trying to talk to our assistant principal is stop suspending students and putting them back into, like, you know, because you tell them that they should be coming to school, but then you suspend them going back into an environment that is teaching them these things. And so, yeah, we're trying to find a better way to work and hold each other.
I don't know if you saw this, but what was that movement, Matt, that the right wing were trying to start called Walk Right Up or something?
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, yes. We get a lot of that. So they're like walk up to somebody, right? But we're like, so it's kind of like walk up to somebody and like be nice to them. But it's like, as students of color, that's so difficult for us to walk up to somebody who is like we don't know if they're gonna harm us, right? It's not that easy to walk up to somebody. So.
And then with the whole reaction, again, I'm seeing from the Republicans and NRA and stuff, is like blame the mentally ill person. And they're almost trying to encourage a kind of surveillance state, snitchery, stool pigeon. Like if you think one of your fellow students is kind of creepy and stays to themselves, and you don't know what they're thinking, that might be the next shooter. And you should tell the counselor to look after that kid, you know.
But that really like criminalizes like students of color, because people think that all students of color are criminals, right?
Well, and some people are just shy.
Yeah, like especially for black students, black males, they're gonna be like, they're the next shooter. You need to be looking after them. So, yeah.
Well, and I read some articles on that too. Somebody talked about their experience as a child after like the Columbine shooting. That was around the time I was in school, and they talked about how right after that they did their own walk-up challenge, and then like a kid would come up and be like, "Hey, if you're gonna go shooting people, you're gonna not shoot me, right?" Soon the kids that were looked as the outsiders were like looked at by the school, like called in the counselor's office, and they're like, "So you're not having any problems, right?" And it's just like they're just different from the rest of the crowd. It didn't even matter what their skin color was. It was just anybody who looked different. And like I've actually sort of got into an argument with somebody who was saying that because I was trying to do the argument of that doesn't work, the walk-up challenge doesn't work. And he was saying that it does. The way he was bullied. If he had had a gun, he would have gone and shot the guy that bullied him. So it really is coercive peace in some cases, but it's a lot of the time, from what I've seen, it was the walk-up challenge was a dumb idea. The way they handled it in the past was dumb because they did the same thing with the isolated students and made them feel. They didn't just make them feel bad. They put them as spectacles, as watch out for these guys because we think they're next.